Everybody, so let us start our lecture this evening, and we will just review discuss already. In our last lecture we were discussing GUI programming, and just review today, and I will give you some resource of a JavaFX program, Windows on program. Hopefully we will be able to wrap up a few minutes early. Okay, so as we discussed that we develop this GUI means graphical user interface application. Okay, to develop most user-friendly an application that nowadays we are used to using. Like in other words, we say this Windows application, Windows-based application. So Java language and C# programming languages. These programming languages can be used both for backend program structure development as well as these are used for developing front-end interface. Okay, so for Java, we use JavaFX, a plugin that we need to install in order to use JavaFX. And hopefully in our last lecture, I gave you a link how to install Java plugin, how to start with FX programming. So if you go to my YouTube Java CSITEd experts, and then if you go to playlist, I have a playlist that is called JavaFX and GUI programming. I added only 3 videos, small videos that to give you a startup point how to start GUI programming with Java and Eclipse. There is a plugin we need to install JavaFX with Eclipse, and the plugin is I have in this video. I showed how to install that, and I have also the link, so you can follow this video to install JavaFX plugin. Then once you install JavaFX plugin, then you can use your Eclipse program to create a JavaFX. For instance, like you can do this for new file, new project. Let me see if I have JavaFX again. Sure. Somewhere I saw that JavaFX there is an option to create JavaFX project. But you see that web, you can develop your static web project or dynamic web project. I have a program that is called JavaFX. Which one? JavaFX. let me go to my GitHub account, and in my GitHub account I have a repository. If you search for repository, then I should have JavaFX. This one, JavaFX demo. So if you clone this project, JavaFX demo, I should have this one. JavaFX demo. Okay, by the way, how many of you have started using GitHub? That's a quick question. One, I want you to raise your hand that I can appreciate it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, the GitHub is really a good tool. You should know. It is a good time if you start using GitHub, then your life will be easier. You will be a few steps ahead. All companies, they use GitHub or this kind of source control system. They keep their complete application on GitHub. If you want to work in a team or in a company, there's no way that you can keep this. Once you know GitHub, there will be a lot of applications that you can download from GitHub, and then you can use it. For instance, in order to download this application, so I need to go to this application, then I need to click on this button, and then I need to go to my workspace folder, and then I need to do git colon this one thing, git colon command p, and then it will colon this project Java. It will download this. Now I can import that project. Existing project into workspace. Next, maybe I can browse it. JavaFX demo. I'm not sure why it is not coming up. Maybe this is a Maven project I do that, maybe. Let's see. It's crashed. Okay, for instance, if you create a new project, For instance, JavaFX new project, new Java project, JavaFX demo, like this, already here. It shows it's already here, but why it does not find it? I'm sorry, I got my configuration changed on my computer, so it is not working. Okay. Okay, so just if you download this program, it has a complete code. If you follow this video, then you will be able to start writing a GUI application with Java. And then, for instance, if you run this program, then at the end of this program, you will be able to write a simple Windows application that will click you that a button that with a button and a label. If you click over here, it will respond. And the third video, that if you watch this, then you will be able to create a small application that will allow you to insert numbers and add those two numbers. Mostly from next week, you will learn how to practice GUI programming in your lab course. Okay. So before I forget, one thing I need to mention over here again, so that we discussed that event and event handling. Okay, an event is an action or a program. Okay, there are some statement that are executed when you click on a button, or when you do right click or left click or do something like this. Okay, so for Windows we use Windows C#. We use Windows Form app. Okay, and for Java we use JavaFX. This is the graphical coordinate system. It's 0 button center is here. Origin is here, 0 on the left upper corner. And there are some applications, there are some methods we can use, those built-in methods, in order to draw a line or a rectangle or an oval, fill the oval with color, or something like this. Okay, so Java FX is a tool, but it can be used to develop a window-based application, but there are some other programming tools like AngularJS. AngularJS is a good application that if you learn programming after this semester, you can spend some time to learn AngularJS. JavaScript is a programming language, but academically, you might not be taught JavaScript. JavaScript is not a complete object-oriented programming language. It is called object language. Because object-oriented programming languages have some common features: class, object, inheritance, right? Polymorphism, abstraction, but JavaScript does allow inheritance. Some features of object-oriented programming. This is why JavaScript is not called a complete object-oriented programming language. This is a good object-based programming language. Yes, did you have a question? Okay. Okay, Java and JavaScript are completely two different programming languages. Okay, there are few. If you learn Java, then you will be able to know this JavaScript quickly. But for instance, one is apple, another is pineapple. Two different fruits, right? People sometimes misunderstand that I know Java, I know JavaScript. That is not true. fruit, apple and pineapple are completely different. So GUI components. A component performs at least one of these functions, that is action: display information, collect data from the user, or allow the user to initiate program function. Before I forget, I want to cover something. This is the event handling. I want to mention two things: a prospective test question that I want to mention. Okay, so the GUI components, there are 3 points here. A component performs at least one of these following 3 functions: displays information and collect data from the user. It display information that we use label display information. Collect data from user using text box. Allow user to initiate program function. For instance, we have a button. Click on a button, do right click or left click, and we do perform some stuffs. This is an important thing, that our component means either toolbar, a label, or a text box, or a button or something. Another thing that handling. Okay, by the way, so GUI programming are called event-driven programs. Event means an action that is executed by either sometime only once, even we hover our mouse, it does something, or if we do right click or left click, it does something. I was looking for another thing, was check button. You are familiar with radio button. That is the red button, little square. We have option to select one red button, and the difference between a radio button and checkbox is that we can select multiple checkboxes at a time, but you are allowed to select only one radio button at a time. Okay, these are the 3 points. In a previous semester, there was a question like this. First question like this: handling events programmatically. How to handle programmatically? There are few rules. Okay, to allow a user interact with our application through a GUI programming component, we need to perform the functions. For instance, the question was, what are the functions? Write the functions that need to be performed in order to allow the user to interact with the GUI programming. Okay. That is the 3 things that we need to consider when you write a program. One thing is the write an event handler class. Okay, in other words, it is called a listener. A listener is a class that waits to take some input by the user, from the user. It always becomes a D. As even if sometimes we move our mouse pointer, or do a right click or left click, we know that our application does something. Okay, so how that is performed? Because there is a listener. Listener wakes up always. Listener becomes ready always to get something. receive a command and to pass it to a handler, and instantiate an object of the listener. When a listener listener is a class, then we know that for that class we need to define that class, and we need to create an object of that class. Okay, and the third thing is the register the listener one or more components. Sometimes we can create a listener class, and listener, then once you create a listener class, you will see when you do GUI programming, then we will create an instance of that class, an object. Then you can use that object in multiple purposes, or you can use that class to create multiple instances. Okay, so for instance, this is an event. Okay, so this is, you see that once set on action. For instance, button is an object, and then you see that within this one, this is a one single command, because the statement is ended here with semicolon, and within here it creates here my event handler is the class. It creates an object or an instance that is anonymous object. We do not give a name of this object usually. Give it because it will be used here one time, so that we don't need to give a name over here. That it will create an object, and within this object, that object, what we will do in the class, it will override the handle method, and it will perform some action. I think this will be easy and to understand if you practice real program. Anyone has any question about JavaFX? I like you to, before to do this practice in a lab. In a lab, you will get an assignment to do this practice, and if you practice just these 3 videos, then you will be able to start up. In the last video, I have a program. If you practice this, you will know how to. Okay, you will know how to create a form with JavaFX that will allow you to enter 2 numbers. And you see there is a button, there's a label over here, it's called sum, and the button over here with label plus sign. If you click on the button, instead of plus sign, you could use add or sum label, title, text. Okay, then if you click over here, it will show you sum of these 2 numbers on the label. There is a hidden label over here in this place. So this program, small program, it will allow you to add 2 numbers. If you can add 2 numbers, then your lab assignment is to write a calculator, sample calculator program to add 2 numbers, to subtract 2 numbers, to multiply 2 numbers, divide 2 numbers, something basic operation. If you can add 2 numbers, then you will be able to do other. Just copy some code and okay. And in my next few minutes, so let us discuss about Windows form. So if you go to my GitHub account, and there I have a project, I have a repository. By the way, in GitHub it is called repository, and in general we call it project, but in GitHub it is a repository. I have a project C# GUI apps. Okay, this is actually in C#. It's called a solution. Okay, so if you download this, if you copy this, let me show it clear from the beginning. I already have it in my workspace. Let me delete it and then get it new as a refresh copy so that people who are taking C#, I have too many projects, so sometimes difficult to remember. Okay, this project actually. So let me delete this project. Okay, instead of deleting, I will delete this project. Okay, so how do I get a project from a GitHub? Just I need to click over here, project, and then click on this button. Then I got just it will copy this stuffs, this link. Okay, and then I need to go to my folder where I want to save my program. Then one command git colon control V, that this is the address of my project where it is located. My project is located on this location, but here, see here, when I clone it, just I need to give .git. This is the additional steps. Just enter. It will be cloning, that means it will be downloading my application. Now I got my application over here. You see that I just downloaded 657 right now, right? Okay, now I can open this way. If I open Microsoft Visual Studio, then I can click on open or solution. Okay, by the way, Microsoft contains multiple projects within a solution. So this is called, you see that Microsoft taking C# library is called Microsoft Visual Studio Solution. So I need to open this solution. Within this solution, I have 2 projects so far. Yeah. So if I open this, okay, you see that my solution name is C# GUI apps, and it has 2 projects. Number one is payroll GUI and Windows Form app 1. So this one is bold. That means it has been selected to start. When I run my solution, it will be my startup project. Okay, so this is why it is already set as startup project. Then if I click here, start, or maybe F5, if I press F5 from my keyboard, then you see that my program is starting from here, and simple GUI program. Okay, it is already running. Okay, this program is running. How do I see that it is running? You see that this button. If I click over here, then it will stop. But say if I click on this button, click me, then that it is showing me another text. Hello world, click OK to exit. Okay, I click OK, and you will exit this button. So this is a very simple form using Microsoft Windows form with C#. So then if you follow this, the programs that are written within this program. So it has its main program is called program.cs C#. This is the main program that if you click over here, so you see that this is the main program. It is the namespace. This is the Windows Forms app 1. This is the namespace. Okay, and this is the main method, our static void main. Okay, and in a GUI program, the GUI programs do not take argument within main method. So for instance, what it will do, application.enable visual, and this is the line actually it will execute. So in the run method, what it will do, it will create a new form on object. Run method will create form object and run that object. Where is my form on? And here is my form on.cs. This is my form on. If I expand it, you see that it has form on. double click here, you see that I got my form on in design mode, and I got my form on, and if I do click this, even this form or somewhere, and do a right click, then you will see that I will get this properties window. If I do not see this properties window, just to view button and see somewhere it should have properties, the properties window, and you will get it. So on the properties window, you see that it has some, all of the these are the properties, and these are right side value. So what if this one is bold? That means this, the name of this form is form 1. Okay, and for instance, if I select this button and do, as long as if I select this button, it will show me the name of this button is button 1. Okay, and somewhere maybe in down, you will see there is another place. It is called text. Text will show whatever I want to show over there. Either click me or okay or cancel or something. What do I want to do? Okay, so whatever the values are bold and black, means I have modified this. Okay. For instance, now if I double click on this button, then it will bring the event handler page. It will click on form1.cs in programming font space. So you see that. So there are some codes. For instance, this one is button1.click. Once I click on the button, what it will do, it will call hello world method. Hello world method is, will call a message box, and that will show with this text. Okay, in our first year experience page, see in the first year page, on the resource page, or this one, you see the second one, 9.5. This one is actually a tutorial, complete tutorial for C#. If you go online, there are a lot of videos and YouTube resource on YouTube and other resources. Or in your book, you should have some code. Let me spend a few more minutes. So by the way, this program, by this way, if you run this program, this is your default and startup application project, this will be running. So if I want to run this one, then we need to select this project, and you need to do right click and set as startup project. So once I set this start as that one as startup project, now you see that payroll GUI is highlighted. So then if I run my project, then payroll GUI, that project will run it. This is another sample form one that is not completed program, but it will show you, for instance, it's showing me form sample. Then it's showing me, for instance, display employee. We do not have anything, right? But through this program, we can connect this program with a database. Okay, with the database. Usually, this is the front end, and front end is connected with the backend program on middle end database. So then, for instance, if you click on add, you can give employee's first name and last name and phone number, then job title, and then click on next. Then you can select this and confirm. Okay. This is Mukhtar Hussain was added to the payroll, but if I display the employee, it will Okay, but this program is not connected with a real database. So next time if I open this program, I will not get my code. Okay. So if I add another employee, for instance, John. Okay. If I add confirm, it will show the second one. And if I select this one, and if I remove from employee, it will be gone. Okay, the remove, we need to type in first name and last name to confirm. Okay, so this is a startup to give you some hints that it is possible to start developing Windows based application. Okay, so module actually we did not have enough, so this is the button we need to click. Okay, or shift plus F5 close this program. So this is the startup point. Then how to do GUI programming. So just to give you the goal of this module was to give you is some information that how do we people develop a complete application. Nowadays there are other languages, especially all of the languages are Windows based and web. So we know that web based for web based application, HTML is the foundation. Script is like HTML. It is a combination of HTML and scripting language. JavaScript is used that is more to develop quick application, web-based application. And there are some new frameworks. It's called that will create a template with JavaFX. It's called AngularJS is a good thing that if you want to learn. There are many YouTube videos that you will not be taught AngularJS or JavaScript. You might not be taught that in academia, because in academia you will be taught only foundation like Java or C#+. Object-oriented programming foundation. It is expected that once you learn this foundation, then you will be able to apply this foundation in any other language. Okay, anyone has any question so far? Okay, so I want to go quickly about our schedule page, and see how far we have gone through. So far we have completed GUI programming and okay. Sorry, I could not finish string operation though. Okay, still I have time. So in next lecture we will finish string operation. Then the following lecture we will do a reference parameter and recursion. But we have another week, 2 weeks for this. Okay, we are good to go, and we have completed 40% of this course. And in your lab, so next week, okay, this week and next week you will be do GUI programming and string operation. Okay, so okay, I have to finish string operation next week in next class. String operation is simple. You can do that. Anyone has any questions so far? Okay, thank you so much. I want to wrap up today.